Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday webinars by Fit and Calm. We all turn our cameras on. So, today we are doing a very talked about topic, which is Know Your Prakriti. And we have an Ayurveda expert with us, Dr. Narayani. So, she'll be taking us through how our prakriti affects us and what are the different types of prakritis. So prakriti has this, it's like the blueprint of our entire mind, body. We can understand ourselves a little better if we know our prakriti better. So today's topic is going to be really helpful to kind of chalk out what our lifestyle, what our choices should be, how to handle our own body and how to handle our own mind in a little better way. And I just wanted to say thank you to Narayani for coming us and giving us another session. All your sessions have been really awesome, filled with takeaways. I personally enjoy them a lot and have got a lot of feedback that they are really good. You can also check out the additional initial sessions of like Ayurveda one-on-one of Ayurveda basics that we have on our channel from Narayani as well. So Narayani, let us know about Prakriti a little more today.
Hello everyone. It's always so nice to do a webinar with Kush and all of you guys. And yeah, this is one topic which a lot of people have a lot of questions about. And I think in the previous webinars also we have spoken a little bit about Prakriti and how it impacts our daily routine and everything. So we'll see what we can learn today about our own selves. Yeah? Are we all ready? So I have made a small PPT, which is not so great. I'm not good with PPT, but just if you people have the visuals of whatever I'm saying, I think it helps better. So I've just written down a few points. So we'll talk and read and know together from that. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll just share my screen. Before that, I want to know how many of us know something about Prakriti or doshas. We are all a little bit aware about it, right? That Ayurveda has three doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and they form the basic constitution and composition of our body and mind. We are all aware about that aspect, right? Give me a thumbs up or something. Yeah. So it's very interesting how Ayurveda explains the mental as well as physical attributes at before the child is born. It's very interesting to know. Just give me a second now. Can we all see? Yeah. So the concept of Prakriti is very unique to Ayurveda, and obviously, it's so ancient but so fresh. Uh, Everything told then is valid even today. The whole Ayurveda is like that, I would say. So Prakriti is nothing but our basic body constitution that suggests our basic physical and mental attributes. Like any person would have certain characteristics which are very typical to their nature, right? Like, no matter what you do, this person is going to feel hungry in every 2 minutes, some XYZ person. So, this, and no matter how much somebody eats, that person will not gain weight. So, these things we wonder occasionally. So these are the things which are basic to their nature. That's how their body structure is. That's how their metabolism is. So those things are coming under Prakriti. So Prakriti is basic body constitution, and there are a lot of factors which contribute to formation of Prakriti. You know, so the most easy to understand ones are Shukra Shonita, that is the male gamete, the female gamete. Then Garbha Kala, that's the place where the baby is going to develop. That's the uterine space. That, then Ahara Vihara, that is the food and the daily routine of any mother for the baby during the conception time. Those things also contribute in the formation of Prakriti. And the Mahabhuta dominance, that's a little deeper aspect. that's the overall among the five Mahabhutas, Panchamahabhuta, we are all aware of that. Yeah. So among those, one of them will be dominant at the time of conception. That also it's a very subtle science, you know. Prakriti is a very subtle science. So even if you don't understand this formation part, it's okay. So these five things are mainly contributing to the formation of Prakriti, which is the female gamete, the male gamete, then the Garbha Kala, that's the uterus, how's the nature of the uterus, and the ahara, food, vihara, that is the daily routine of the mother, and mahabhuta dominance. So these aspects contribute in the formation of prakriti. And when is this prakriti formed? It is formed when the fetus is in the uterus, that is in the at the time of, during those 9 months it is developing, but it's formed as soon as the conception happens. Do you understand that? Is it too complicated? So when there is conception, obviously that time the nature will be decided and it will keep on growing over it. Yeah. So this is the concept of prakriti, and then there are 7 types of prakriti. This is very very beautiful to understand if we do. So 7 prakritis are based on the 3 doshas only. The 3 doshas of Ayurveda are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And Vata is air dominant dosha, that is air in space. Pitta is fire dominant, so there's more of fire element in Pitta Prakriti people. And then there is Kapha, that is earth and water element. So these 3 doshas are the ones responsible for making Prakriti, right? So what are the 7 types? Simple. Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti, Kapha Prakriti, then the combinations of 2. Vata Pitta Prakriti, Pitta Kapha Prakriti, and Vata Kapha Prakriti. And the 7th one is Sama Prakriti, in which all the 3 doshas are at the same level. If you have questions, we'll take it in the end because this can be a little confusing sometimes. So Vata Prakriti people definitely air dominant element. So they will have the features of Vata. That is lightness of body and all that. We'll see in the next coming slides. Pitta Prakriti, fire element dominant. Kapha Prakriti is earth and water element dominant. Then when we take the combinations of 2, these combinations, depending on the which 2 doshas are involved, depending on that, it can be either way. Sometimes in Vata Pitta, Vata can be more and Pitta can be less. And in Pitta Kapha, Kapha can be more. Any way, one or the other is more or less. So we'll see how it comes. Yeah, so we'll see Vata Prakriti people. How are these? So in all the we'll see the main 3 types first, and then we can understand in our own selves how much of what do I have, and depending on that we can decide which is our prakriti, right? So I will just tell the basic attributes of each dosha in a person, in the person's prakriti. Yeah. So for Vata Prakriti people, what are the physical and physiological attributes? So they are usually light body frame, low weight, less physical stamina. So these things are completely physical based. So they will be very thin, and some usually tall people, no matter what they do, they will not gain weight. They will get tired very easily. They will not have very like a lot of physical strength, you know. So they kind of are not able to take a lot of exertion in their day-to-day life. They get tired very easily, mentally as well as physically. So visible network of vein on hands and legs. That's, some people you can see their veins very prominently on hands, right? So this is one of the features, I would say. They also, you know, the hair and skin texture, they have I forgot to mention it here, they have usually dry skin. They get dryness of skin very easily, and their hair are very fragile and usually thin and black. Then when it comes to the metabolism and the body physiological aspects, their digestive capacity is very variable. Sometimes they'll feel hungry anytime, like, even at night, in midnight, they'll wake up out of hunger. And sometimes they would not eat the whole day and still they will not feel hungry. So everything is very variable. Everything is changing in Vata person. For Vata, the best Sanskrit word I would I like is chanchalatva. They're so chanchal, like they're changing every minute. That's a typical Vata. So their digestive capacity is changing, their bowel movements changing. One day they'll have loose motions, next day they'll have constipation. They're very uncertain in their digestion and everything. Their sleep is interrupted, and like you give a small stimulus and they'll wake up, kya hua, like that, and some little noise and they'll wake up. So they're very responsive towards everything. That's their basic nature. They like to respond instantly, instant, spontaneous. That's their basic nature. So if we see the mental attributes, they're talkative in nature. They like to talk and express and say their emotions out. They're very quick learners. You tell them once, they'll learn it immediately. But also they'll forget very easily. So they cannot retain for a very long time. Quick learning, quick forgetfulness also. But they're good initiators. They like to take responsibility, take initiatives, like to do inventions, innovations, and creatively they're very active. So then there's variable nature and emotion. So they're very moody. One minute they're all settled, calm, happy. Something happens and then they'll just, get sad about it. But they'll come out of the sadness very quickly again. So they're changing. Every minute they can change. You Very unpredictable. Unpredictability is the word. Then their quickness in action, in passion and affection. So they like somebody very quickly. They meet somebody for once and they're like, this is my friend for life and all that. And then the next day that same friend does something, oh, I hate this person. So they change their opinions very quickly. So there's quickness in passion and affection, as well as aversion and disinclination. Then the next is they like newness and change. Very change. They like something new every day. They want to have a new substance added to their routine every day. So they cannot stick to a routine. They cannot have a very stable and constant lifestyle. So that also leads to inconsistency. They would take initiatives very actively, but at the same time they would get bored of it also and then want to change and do something else. Yeah. But this the negative aspect of it, that is inconsistency and all those things, come when the vata goes little off balance. They are prone to the off balance of vata particularly. So every time their vata goes off balance, they will have these tendencies of going inconsistency, showing boredom towards something and all that. Otherwise they're basically, if you in one liner, they are happy, energetic, enthusiastic people. You all know somebody like that in your life, right? So vata person is usually happy, all the time, energetic, enthusiastic, ready to take initiatives and responsibilities. So this is a typical vata person. Now, usually in our life, we would not see typical prakritis. There are normally, when we see somebody, even if we assess ourselves, there are usually combinations of two. One pure vata person or one pure pitta person, pitta prakriti person, it's a rare thing to find, I would say. Yeah, so don't completely stick yourself to, oh, I'm a vata person, but why is this like this? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm. Don't get confused. Also, prakriti just by self analysis cannot be assessed completely, because it's a subjective thing if you do it self if you do self analysis. So it's when it comes to choosing for yourself, we kind of choose what we want to choose and not sometimes what we are, right? So yes, we can definitely have some idea about our prakriti by seeing the attributes and characteristics, but we cannot come to a conclusion that, oh, this is it, this is my prakriti. Let's not do that after this session. Yeah. Let's have an open-mindedness towards I could be, I could not be, something like that. Yeah. So now we'll see Pitta Prakriti. Yeah, Pitta people are considered as the intense people. Like they are intense in their aura, I would say. Yeah, so we'll see the physical attributes first. Their medium body frame, moderate physical strength. Their hair are usually dark brown to light brown, sometimes blonde hair. So a lot of, you know, in the West, most of the times it's Pitta Prakriti people. I would say typically that's a typical nature of Pitta. Hair texture and hair color is a very typical feature of Pitta. Then hair, they are usually straight and thin. They won't have very good volume of hair, and so in their on their skin also they will have a lot of moles and freckles and very sensitive skin, very prone to pimples and any acne or skin issues. They're very prone to them, and they have moderate physical strength. Like they're not very strong, but they're not very weak also. Like Vata Prakriti people are little weak when it comes to strength, but Pitta is like moderate. Physiologically, they are completely intolerant to heat, definitely, because they are already having so much fire element within their cells that any more heat from the outside is not welcomed. So they don't like hot climatic conditions or sun. They cannot stand heat, basically. They get tired very easily if they are exposed to sun for a very long time. So fire element is more, definitely their digestive fire will also be very good. So they feel excessive hunger and excessive thirst. Their digestion and metabolism is very fast. So they eat something, it's getting digested very quickly and they feel hungry again. So their digestion is very strong, usually. There can always be some variations. Then early appearance of wrinkles. So normally, because it's their metabolism and everything is so fast that they are prone to early aging symptoms. So they will have wrinkles and all those little earlier. Similarly, they have tendency of early graying of hair earlier than the normal people. Then balding is also very commonly seen in Pitta Prakriti people. So Pitta is associated with a word called Paka. Paka is like something getting cooked. So Pakvata, that is you know something getting transformed very quickly. So similarly, Pitta people's all these physical characteristics also is transforming very quickly. So early aging, early wrinkling, and graying of hair, all these things are seen normally in little earlier than the normal other people, other Prakriti people. Yeah. Strong body odor. So they have a very typical body odor. They sweat a lot. They can have, they sweat a lot. They're, everybody in the room is comfortable, but Pitta person is sweating like sitting in some sunlight or like something like that. They sweat a lot, and they normally have little warm body temperature. If a Kapha person comes and touches forehead of Pitta person, they'd be like, "Hey, you have fever." But no, Pitta person's nature is so that their overall body temperature is a little warm itself. Yeah. So then we'll see mental attributes. Like I said, they are intense people. So they are very sharp, focused, and very intelligent and creative. युक्ति लगाना जिसे कहते हैं ना हिंदी में, पित्ता प्रकृति लोग वो बहुत अच्छा करते हैं हर चीज में. Very logical also. Pitta Prakriti people are very logical. They have this very radiant personality. Like you can easily understand, oh, this is a Pitta person. Person walks in the room and he has some radiance in his personality and aura. They have a lot of valor and courage. They will not be scared of anybody. They will, जैसे कुछ लोग होते हैं ना कि अरे बॉस बोल के चला गया कुछ एंड देयर लाइक कोई बात नहीं हो जाएगा सॉर्ट. पित्ता पर्सन, पित्ता डोमिनेंट, and they are very ambitious and bold. In personal nature, they are very loving and content also. So, but when Pitta goes a little off balance, because they are anyway, fire element is increased in them. So, little if it is going off balance, they will be ending up into an argument. They will get into some fight or some argument, very easily triggered into arguments. Now, because also they're very logical and intellectual, so they have very strong opinions, leading to very easily ending up into an argument also. Pitta people are usually good speakers and good orators, and so definitely because they have strong opinions and fire element is more, there is always a tendency that they will end up into anger, irritability, and all these aggressive things very easily if put in a stressful situation. So pitta persons need to be very very careful and meditate regularly, otherwise they'll fight every day. This is very important for pitta people especially. And just like vata person like change every day, pitta person would like challenges every day. They like situations which challenge them and where they can kind of prove themselves. They like competitiveness in day to day basis. So because they're ambitious also. So all these things are like few mental attributes of a pitta prakriti person. In general, I would say they are very courageous people, happy courageous people, I would say. Very strong personality with a lot of courage and valor, but self-content also. Yeah, so that's there are few pitta characteristics. Next, we'll see kapha. Kapha is my favorite. So kapha people are, it's a blessing to have a kapha prakriti best friend, and I have one. My best friend is a kapha prakriti person, and it's a blessing to have a friend when he's a kapha prakriti. It's amazing. So all of you guys find a person around yourselves who's a kapha prakriti, so you know your life will be much easier. Yeah, so physical attributes, if you see in a kapha person, they are usually hefty and like well built. You will not see kapha people having pains and aches very easily. They are very physically, they're strong people. So hefty, robust, thick, strong body frame, good physical strength, good musculature, and they have a very good compactness of joints. So their joints are very strong and well formed. Their skin texture is very smooth and clear skin, just like pitta people have a lot of freckles and all that, like I mentioned in the previous slide. Kapha people are very clean and smooth skin usually, and very unctuous also. They don't need moisturizers too soon, like vata person. Vata dry skin need a lot of moisturizers. Yeah, so kapha people have usually unctuous skin. Then they usually have black and curly, thick, good voluminous hair. They don't have hair falls very frequently, whereas with pitta people have a lot of hair fall. Then they have a tendency to put on weight very easily because their digestion and metabolism rate is a little slow than the other two prakriti. Then obviously because their digestion is a little slow, they will require less food and drinks comparatively. Pitta person can eat all day. Kapha, not so much. They would just take their small meals and they're good to go for the whole day. Yeah. So there, this is additional characteristic told for a kapha person specifically, that they have very smooth and soft voice. So you talk to a kapha person, you will feel that हाँ कितना अच्छा लग रहा है बात करके. Yeah. Pitta people will be very sharp in their talking. Vata people will be, it'll take some effort to understand what they are talking because they will talk very fast. They want to convey a lot of things instantly in that minute, in that moment. But kapha people are aram se, they'll tell and explain very smoothly, very calmly, and very smooth and deep voice. Yeah. And yeah, sleep, see, you see how beautifully our Vedas have mentioned the smallest of details, like even how these people are going to sleep, they have explained. This is just a translation which I've taken from the Sanskrit text. So I've not taken the Sanskrit words. So, like I told, for Vata person, they will wake up very quickly. They will have very disturbed sleep, interrupted sleep. Pitta person is moderate to very deep and very disruptive. It's moderate. Kapha person will have very good sleep, deep and sound sleep. Yeah. So since they have water and earth element dominant in them, so their body temperature will also be a little low, and they don't like cold humid atmosphere because they have that enough in themselves. So they don't like too much cold and humidity and rains. They don't like all of that, and they don't sweat a lot. They don't feel, जैसे गर्मी नहीं लगती उन्हें आसानी से, पहली बात. और अगर लगती भी है तो they don't sweat a lot. They are like moderate. So we'll see the mental attributes. So they are very calm and quiet in nature. Patience, amazing patience they have. They have a lot of patience, tolerance, and forgiveness. Very generous and giving people, very intelligent, steady, and graceful in action. So when you can compare, you can understand these things better if you have a little comparisons with the other two doshas. Like for Vata person, everything will be very quick. There's no steadiness seen at all. They would want things to be done, thuk, 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 and done. Pitta person, focused, and they want promptness also. Focus and promptness together. Kapha person, आराम से सब कुछ आराम से करना है उनको. They would, if they have taken up some action, they would plan for it properly and then do it accordingly, stepwise. They don't want anything in a hurry, I would say. Yeah, so very steady and graceful in action, and they have very long term memory. You They will remember what you ate 2-3 months back. If you told them, they will remember everything. They will remember all the dates. They will literally remember every detail, provided they listen. So they kind of don't, they're not quick learners like Vata. They take their time to grasp things, but once taken in, it will not go out. They have memory of an elephant if it's stored. Yeah, it's very interesting how the mind can have variations with respect to the doshas, right? So kapha is typical in terms of this mental attribute, that they would not grasp things too quickly. Vata will grasp instantly. You tell them once, they know it. But you ask them tomorrow, they will not remember. Especially for people who are studying, it's very sad, I would say, to have a Vata mind. So they should kind of work on that aspect. And then Kapha person will take its time. They would have to read the same sentence maybe 5 times, 6 times to grasp it inside. But once it's gone, you ask them in their sleep also, they'll remember it. Their memory is so good. Yeah. So next is process of attachment and detachment is slow. Like I mentioned for Vata person will make somebody their friends and their best friend, and very close to them instantly, but get also get detached very quickly if something goes wrong. Whereas Kapha is not like that. Kapha Prakriti person will take its proper time and space to understand that person and then very slowly get attached to that person. But once attached, Kapha person would like to stay, you know, will stick around. And if this is a little funny, but if the person feels kind of betrayed, Kapha person takes a lot of time to come out of it. So attachment is also a slow process, and detachment is also a slow process. They they are not quick in their social circle in that aspect. Yeah, usually very resourceful people. You, like I said, if you have a Kapha friend, your life is sorted. They will have the answers to most of your problems. Very resourceful, because this is also because they take their time to process things and give solutions then. Yeah. They do not appreciate changes. They like things steady and in a particular routine. They like a proper routine and schedule. They don't want to do something new every day. They like steadiness in their lifestyle also. If kapha goes off balance, they have this tendency to get more stubborn, lethargic, and dull. They like lazy days. If If kapha is increased in their, if somebody, I would say, kapha prakriti person, if in a sad mood for a day, that person will, instead of doing anything, would just want to be in bed and do nothing. So if a sad person, vata prakriti person, when sad, would kind of indulge the mind in doing something creative, or doing something, change of mind ke liye. They would look for something. Pitta prakriti person would get into some competitiveness. Kapha prakriti person would not do anything, sit in bed and do nothing. So responses to each stimulus is changed with the dominance of dosha, and with the basic nature. We all have seen, if four people living in a family, we all have seen somebody responding to some situation in some way, and the other person would respond in complete opposite way. And we wonder, hey, kaise kar sakta hai ye aise? Sometimes we are like, how does this person respond to this so quietly and so calmly? We cannot do this. I will give my example. My father responds to things very aram se usually, and I am like instant reactive, because I have pitta dominance in me, he has kapha dominance in him. So every situation can have different responses to, if in consideration of different doshas. Yeah. So but when, so we'll come back to this. Kapha person, when kapha is imbalanced, will have tendency of being stubborn and lethargic and dull and lazy, and all these things. So they are slow learners but have great reproducibility and retainment, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah. So we'll see now what are the things what a person would like and should be doing. These are not very detailed. These are very like superficially I've mentioned. So for a Vata person, they should definitely avoid cold, windy weather, excess travel, overworking out, overindulgence in anything physically or mentally. So, over stressful conditions mentally is also not good for them. Their body will start responding to it immediately. They cannot take over exertion on the mind or on the body. Then, if they go out in a very cold environment, they will catch a cold, or they will start having pains in the body. Vata person has a tendency to get joint pains very easily because they have kind of a fragile body. So they need to take care of that. Yeah, so these are things they can avoid. In diet, they should always and always take warm food, unctuous food. Unctuous is like adding some ghee over the food. They should not take raw material. They should always take cooked food because their system is variable. Their digestion is very variable. So they should not take uncooked food. They should prefer taking things which are more nourishing and have a lot of nutrients to it. Nourishing in terms of the body and the mind both. So in if you take examples of fruits, they can take banana, chiku, mango. They can take a lot of dairy products, whereas kapha people cannot take dairy products much. They should especially add a lot of ghee in their diet, because their body overall, air and space, vata, air and space, right? So they have tendencies of dryness, and their body from inside is very dry generally. So it's always nice if they keep taking a lot of ghee internally. In the atmosphere in which they should stay is obviously warm, relaxing, and nothing very overpowering. So very mild. If they're listening to music, also it should be little less volume, mild, and so basically a harmonious environment. That's actually for all prakritis also, I would say, but specifically warm atmosphere is very important for a vata person. Then massage oils, like I mentioned in most of my webinars, abhyanga is one attribute. Abhyanga is one thing which we should all add in our dinacharya routine. So winters are coming. Whoever has not started yet, please do it. So for the abhyanga, we can have oils like sesame oil and olive oil for vata person. For people who have a lot of dryness in their skin, they can use sesame oil. That is til tail. It's very good for vata people. And Ayurveda therapies which they can do is Abhyanga and Basti. Basti is like enema treatment. It's one among the Panchakarma treatments. So we have five treatments in Ayurveda which are called Panchakarmas. Among them, one of them is Basti. So that is very nourishing to the Vata Prakriti person. All the imbalances and all the tendencies of body pains and everything, all those will not be there if they take Basti at least once in a while, you know. Obviously, consult after consultation with the doctor. So Shirodhara is one thing. Shirodhara, are we all aware? This is one thing which most of the people know about Ayurveda, that there's something pouring on their forehead, because we have seen it in pictures and spa centers. There are posters of these things. Yeah, so Shirodhara is one thing which they can do very regularly. It's good for them because Vata people are kind of prone to taking a lot of stress and worrying a lot. So Shirodhara is very beneficial for them. Then Snehana and Svedana. Snehana is nothing but taking a lot of unctuous things, oil, ghee and all that internally as well as applying it externally. Svedana is like sudation therapy, जिसे कहते हैं हम हिंदी में सेक करना. So Vata people can do that on regular basis. Then exercises, because their body strength is very less, they should not go for strenuous exercise. They should always do mild to moderate, considering their body strength, always taking their physical capacity into consideration. They should not push themselves too much. So slow rhythmic Surya Namaskar is very good for them, and exercising is not to be done for longer durations for Vata person. So in Ayurveda for exercising, we have this term called Ardha Shaktya, that is doing exercise only to half of your capacity. So this has to be strictly followed for Vata person. Kapha person can exceed it, but Vata Prakriti people should definitely do only half to their capacity. Yeah. So next is Pitta person. Usually obviously क्योंकि उनका body heat anyway इतना ज़्यादा होता है, they should always avoid intense exposure to sun, exposure to hot climatic conditions, heated conversations, that is any arguments or fights. So they should kind of be aware in their mind and get away from those kind of conversations, because if they indulge into that, instantly their pitta will aggravate and then they will blow the other person off, which is not good. So they should not get into arguments. Yeah. Then in diet, because their digestive capacity is very strong, they can take a lot of raw food. They can take a lot of salads, juices. Non-spicy food is better for them and less oily, definitely. For example, grapes, pomegranate, sweet lime, guava, coconut water, watermelon, all the food items which are kind of helping pacify the heat is good for pitta person. Yeah, so they can also take fresh milk and not too much of dairy products. They should not take a lot of curd. Curd is not very good for them, but milk, definitely. Milk they can take in good quantities. Ghee is very good for them. If they want to take nuts, that is like almond and other nuts, if they want to take, they should soak it in water and then take, because these nuts kind of have the tendency to increase the body heat. So pitta person taking the nuts directly like that will lead to pitta aggravation. So they should soak it overnight, then take it the next day. For atmosphere, they always prefer cool and calm. Like they don't want warm, cozy atmosphere. They like cooled and cold atmosphere usually. Then in massage oils, coconut oil is very good for them. Then sunflower oil is good for them. Now, like I mentioned, they have this tendency of hair fall and having a lot of acne and everything. So, for head massage particularly, they can go for Brahmi or Bhringaraj. I think I've written the spelling wrong here. I've written Bhringaraj. There's one B in front of the H. I'm sorry. So, Bhringaraj oil. Yeah, Bhringaraja can be used or Brahmi oil can be used. And in Ayurvedic therapies, they can take Netra Tarpana. Now, what is this Netra Tarpana? You know, in Ayurveda, we have this concept that our vision is taken care by Pitta. So, there is one type of Pitta which we call Alochaka Pitta. that resides in your eyes. So eye is one area where pitta is anyway more. So these days definitely there is so much intelligence in digital stuff, and we are exposed to screen almost all the time, even right now. So our eyes have the tendency to get strained. Therefore, alochaka pitta, that is one type of pitta, is getting aggravated. So tarpana, netra tarpana can be done. That is on not on daily basis. This is a proper therapy which should be done going to a proper panchakarma center, in which they make a kind of walls around your eye and pour some medicated ghee in your eye, or sometimes milk also. So this is very good for pitta people. Once in a year or so they can take. Yeah. Netra Tarpana. Then Shirodhara also can be taken with them. Obviously, their medicines for Shirodhara will be different than Vata person, but they should take Shirodhara because they have tendencies of aggression. It will calm them down. Yeah. So, and then there's Nasya and Virechana, another type of Panchakarmas which are told in the classic for Pitta person specifically. Now, when it comes to exercising, they should prefer doing water sports or swimming, any exercise or something which is non-competitive, because they're anyway so competitive in their nature that if they are doing exercise also of that type, say for example a pitta person is going for a tennis match every day, imagine what will be the condition of that person's mind. Anyway, he's competitive in nature on day-to-day basis, and every in all the aspects in office or any work. Over that, the leisure time of workout is also competitive now because he's playing tennis with another person and he wants to win. So it will not be a leisure time for that person, right? So any activity which is not competitive, yoga से better कुछ नहीं है उसके लिए. So they should always prefer something like that which is non-competitive. So that kind of exercise basically. And swimming is obviously best for them because they are in cool environment and water is their favorite thing. So this is about pitta. Then kapha person. What suits a kapha person is they should always avoid cold, moist atmosphere. They are never comfortable in moist atmosphere. They should never sleep in the day because when they sleep in the day, they get very cozy and comfortable, and that is not what we want for them. Because if they do that, they will become lethargic and lazy and not do anything the whole day. So oversleeping and excess comfort is not something we want to give to kapha prakriti person. This should be given a lot to pitta and vata, but not to kapha. Yeah. So then in diet we can take kapha people can take warm dry food items, freshly cooked. Avoid mucus producing food like there are vegetables and fruits which are very slimy, so kapha people should not take that. Dairy products are also not very good for them. Milk can be taken, but they should always add either turmeric or ginger, something which pacifies the kapha if they are taking milk. And fruits like lemons, apples, pomegranate, pineapple, pear, and there are a few more, they can take all of these fruits. They should avoid taking mango, chiku, all these bananas. They should not take bananas. Kapha people should not take bananas. So these things they should kind of avoid. And then atmosphere, they like dry moderates. They should be given, I would say, they should be given dry, moderate, stimulating and challenging atmosphere, because if they are given comfortable atmosphere they will get lazy. So this is for people around that person. They should take care of this aspect, that they should not be given very comfortable zone. They should be given challenges. Whereas pitta person is already going to take challenges himself, so he should be given comfort, right? So these are like little things we can keep in mind. Then massage oil, because their kapha is more water and earth element is more. Mustard oil, which is kind of kapha pacifier. Mustard oil can be used for abhyanga, daily massage. Sunflower oil is also fine. Sesame oil is also fine. Then one important thing for kapha person is powder massage. They can go for powder massage every once in a while, like twice a week or something, which also helps to kind of nourish their skin, and since they are not very dry skin nature, so powder massage is very good for them. So gram flour can, besan, we all know besan, right? That can be used, and there are many churnas available, powders available otherwise also in the pharmacies. This massage is known as udvartana, so udvartana powders are available in the market, so they can use that. Ayurvedic therapies, now this strong deep massages is nothing but overall massage, just putting more pressure. For a normal vata or pitta person, pressure is not needed, but kapha person, it's better if we give a lot of pressure. It's also called urchil, it's a Kerala panchakarma thing. Urchil it's called. So strong and deep massage can be given, and udvartana powder massage definitely. Svedana is nothing like seka, sedation kind of therapy, where we are providing a warm environment so the person produces some sweat, so that is very good for kapha person. And then nasya, definitely nasya medicine will be different than pitta person. Yeah, so this is for therapies. And then exercise, we should encourage kapha person to do a lot of exercise, because they have slow metabolism, they have less digestion, and their tendency is to gain weight. And so definitely they should prefer more intense exercise and competitive workout, and longer durations can be done, and they can do gym and weights and everything, they should do in fact. So these are the kind of exercises. So now these are the basic three doshas. In these three doshas, we saw a few characteristics, right? Now, depending on our own personal characteristics, we can see where what all we have, right? And then out of that we can have combinations for ourselves. Okay, so if I have, say for example, 6 things from pitta prakriti, 4 things from vata prakriti, so I will become pitta vata prakriti person. Yeah, so this is how the combinations work. Not necessarily we will have attributes of one dosha, all the attributes of one dosha. We can have mix and match components of all the doshas. But sama prakriti, which is balanced 3 doshas, we don't find in this Kali Yuga. That is mentioned in our scripts, that sama prakriti is not found in Kali Yuga anymore, because if we were sama prakriti, we would not have any diseases. So if we see, out of in these 3 prakritis, kapha prakriti people are the strongest in terms of physical strength and least prone to any diseases. Whereas vata person is more prone to any physical disorder in terms of bone, like we, because they have weak bones, and musculoskeletal problems are more probable in vata prakriti person, whereas pitta person is more prone to kind of mental or mind related issues, because they are always so passionate about things, and they're so intense in nature, they're always so competitive in nature. So they can have issues related to their mind sometimes. And wait, I'll just stop the screen share because I'm talking and I can't see everybody. Yeah. Yeah, so where was I? Yes. So Kapha person strongest physically and mentally, and Vata and Pitta persons are little prone to certain disorders. But when kept in balance and when taken care, it's not like some Prakriti is better than other. It's not like that. Every Prakriti has pros and cons of, you know, some, if Kapha person has good memory power, then Kapha person also has very slow learning. So there are things available in which we can help our minds and train our minds. See, in physical aspects we can't do much, but mental attributes definitely. We have a lot of things available now in which we can kind of alter and improve our mental attributes even if we are not born with it, right? We can improve our memory and sharpness with meditation and pranayam and yoga. We can do that. So even, for example, if I am a vata prakriti person, I like change and I am not consistent in my daily routine, then if I meditate and do a lot of like pranayam and yoga and everything, I can change that and get myself into consistency and good routine. That's the power of pranayam, yoga, meditation, I would say. Yeah. So if a pitta prakriti person feels, you know, gets angry too much, so that doesn't mean that he has gotten, oh, I'm a pitta prakriti person, I'm going to get angry, you take care and you don't create a scene in front of me. We can't use it as an excuse. So these are the things uh, we are prone to, but not, that's not our nature. Pitta person basic nature is to be happy, courageous, valor, bold person, not angry, aggressive, irritable person. These negative attributes come on the surface when they are going off balance. So we have to just take care of the fact that they don't go off balance, right? And there are very, I would say, Prakriti is one aspect, but then there's Vikriti also. So somebody sitting in bed and lazy all day doesn't get the excuse, oh, I am a Kapha Prakriti person, I am lazy. No. There is a chance that you have Kapha Vikriti. So if you have a Vikriti, that is the doshas going off balance, then you need to correct it, right? So that's how beautifully it's told. Yeah. So I think yeah, we can all assess and see what are our basic attributes and characteristics, and we can see what is our basic nature and what all we can improve on and work towards it. Yeah.
Narayan, we have a few questions. So I think one of them you answered, which was in the chat. How does one know which type they belong to, either Pitta, Vata, or Kapha? And there was another one. We have a combination of two natures, right? Like Vata Pitta, Vata Kapha.
Yeah. So, like I said, there are chances that we have only single prakriti, but the chances of that are less. Usually, our generation these days doesn't mean this century. I mean, when these scripts were written, there were single prakritis found, but today it's little less. But definitely, it's still there. So if a person has 80% of vata features and 20% of pitta features, you can call it as a vata prakriti person. Yeah. So, but there can be people having 50% of vata and 50% of pitta, or 50% of pitta and kapha, like 50% of kapha. It can be that way. So that will be vata pitta prakriti. Yeah. So when we are naming prakritis, it's all, we when we are practicing and we see patients, so we name it as like this is a kapha pitta person. Now this kapha pitta person is different from pitta kapha person, because in a kapha pitta person, kapha is more, pitta is less. In pitta kapha person, pitta is more, kapha is less. So we name the dosha which is more first, and then we tell the next dosha usually when it's a combination of two. It can be either ways. That's what Prakriti is, not something which we can just decide ourselves. Easiest way to go for it is Nadi Pariksha. You get a Nadi Pariksha done, the doctor will check your Nadi and tell you what's your Prakriti. That is one way to find out. Otherwise, to find out your yourself, it's a subjective thing to do, so you can do it yourself. There are a lot of questionnaires available online, you can do that. Or you can just see what you all have the basic idea of doshas by now, so you can see which is more, which is less in you, and you can kind of decide for yourself what is your prakriti.
We have a few more questions from YouTube. So one is how to decide what to eat if I'm a mixed Prakriti. So I'm Pitta Vata. How to decide from whatever we saw just now?
Yeah, so you need to understand. See, when it comes to eating, it's a very vast topic. So you need to find a balanced diet for yourself. If like I have told individually what to be done. Now, which combination you have to figure out for yourself then. Yeah, because every individual, there are two, for example, if there are two pitta vata also, the amount of pitta and the amount of vata in person 1 and the amount of pitta and vata in person 2 will be differing, right? So I cannot just say that this is the diet plan for pitta vata prakriti person. I can't do that. Yeah. So diet is always a very personalized thing, or you need to discuss with your doctor or dietitian or whoever. It's a very personalized thing, so I can't just directly point out that these are the things which should be taken only. I can't do that.
Okay. There are a few more questions. One is how to know if my dry skin is because of my prakriti or vikruti. Could it be because of vata imbalance or because of my vata prakriti?
Either way, vata imbalance is there, right? So there, see, for a vata prakriti person will have dryness throughout the life. As a child also the skin would be dry, so your mom will have to kind of apply a lot of moisturizers and oil massage and everything as when you were a baby. And for a vata vikriti person, you will see excessive dryness in certain kind of weather or certain conditions. For example, if now like winters are coming, so a person having a lot of dry skin when winters are coming could be because of vata vikriti. Yeah. Now a person having dry skin even in summer and rainy season could be because of prakriti. But again, there are chances that vata still goes off balance in other seasons than winter or any dry season. So we can, it's, it all has to be done here. You have to assess yourself whether this is how I have always been, then you have to take precautions accordingly, or whether this is certain new change which I'm observing in myself and it's coming very recently and I can quickly do some changes in my lifestyle and it will get corrected. Usually when it's a prakriti related thing, you have to take the measures throughout because that's your nature and you don't want to show it to the, like you don't want to show it on day-to-day basis. Like for example, if basically you are an aggressive person, you have to meditate daily. But sometimes you can be aggressive because of the stressful conditions around, and otherwise you're generally, you're very calm in nature. But because of the circumstances, you have become very aggressive. So, the phase of stress passes and then you become calm and all that. Doesn't mean you get an excuse not to meditate, but I'm just saying. So, yeah, it's a very difficult thing to explain cut to cut that this is it.
There's another question. Is there more possibility of a vata imbalance happening in a vata prakriti and a pitta imbalance in a pitta or a kapha imbalance in kapha?
Yes, that's the whole point. A vata person, vata prakriti person will always have tendencies of having vata imbalance more. So a vata person exerting too much will have vata imbalance more and have joint pains. This is the thing. If we understand, it will help us. If we understand the prakriti, that's the first thing which is going to help. No, if we are pitta prakriti person, we need to take precautions and not go in sun for too long, because if we go, we'll have burns on our skin and we won't get tanned, we'll have directly sunburns and we'll get exhausted and fatigued. So that's how understanding your prakriti helps, that what not to do we'll understand. You will be prone to that particular dosha aggravation more, basically.
I think that clears a lot of things. There's another one. You mentioned about Ardha Shaktaya in exercise for Vata. Does it also imply to a person who's Pitta Vata?
See, Ardha Shaktya concept is mentioned under Vyayama. So exercising should be done Ardha Shaktya. That's how it is mentioned. But a lot of times we don't take that into consideration much. I mentioned specifically in Vata because if Vata person does not take this into consideration, they will have a lot of undesirable impacts. So Ardhashaktiya should be taken care by everyone actually, but especially Vata is what I meant.
Okay, so Ardha Shakti is for everyone. That's what has been mentioned in our scriptures.
Yes. And this Ardhashaktiya keeps on increasing with time. I'll explain how what it means. So today I decide I want to exercise every day. Today I cannot directly jump into doing 20 sets of Surya Namaskar. I can't because I've not been doing it. So today I feel tired only after say 4 sets. I'm tired now. I need to stop. Yeah. Tomorrow I might not get tired by 4. I will, kind of feel that okay, I can do till 5 sets. So this Ardha Shaktiya, half your capacity, this capacity keeps on increasing, right? So the exercising capacity of a person doing a desk job is going to be very very less than a exercising capacity of a person who's a dancer, for example. Yeah. So you have to do Ardha Shaktiya Vyayama. Means if a person doing desk job is doing exercising for half an hour, that is good enough, because exercising in Ayurveda is like putting in extra effort to get ayama, that is tiredness, like that. So that extra effort of half an hour is good enough for the person doing desk job. But for a dancer, if the dancer says, "Oh, half an hour I'll exercise," it's not going to work, because that's not even 1/4 or 1/10 of the capacity, because anyway the dancer is dancing the whole day and practicing. But that exercising time of a dancer obviously will be different. So this Ardha Shaktiya is variable and keeps on increasing for every individual if we do it regularly.
So it should be half the capacity of whatever your capacity is currently.
Yeah. And that will increase eventually if you do it regularly.
There are two more questions here. One is, why do allergies come? And there is, if there is a vata imbalance, how do we correct it? I
Yeah.
think
Allergies usually we see when we have low immune system. Allergies is nothing but your immune system responding to something extremely quick. So something, reacting to some food product or some, say for example, dust. So your body is showing very quick response to some stimulus. Yeah. So if your immunity is improved, your your body will be able to take that. So it might not be always the case in terms of when it comes to food allergy. Some people are just allergic to some particular food material. Yeah. So because that's how maybe their system is made. But usually allergies are because of low immune system. A lot of people have dust allergies, and create a lot of sneezing and all that. If they improve their immune system and their strength of the respiratory system, they can kind of prevent those sneezing and blocked nose and everything with time. I hope I answered your question.
yeah, I think so. There's just
One more, how to
how to about vata imbalance was there. Is there any
yeah,
other one?
if there's vata imbalance, what to do about it. Firstly, we have to see vata imbalance in what aspect. Vata imbalance is a very wide term, because vata imbalance can have very different kind of symptoms in you. But normally, for if vata is getting imbalanced, so the main characteristics or gunas of vata are cold, dry, and all these things. So opposite characteristics to that can be used. So if there's a lot of dryness, we can use local application of oils. Bastis are very good for vata. So it's told that for any vata imbalance conditions, basti is the prime treatment. For any pitta imbalance conditions, virechana is the prime treatment. For kapha, vamana is the prime treatment. So vata imbalance, basti enema treatment is the first choice. Then abhyanga definitely is very good. Svedana, that is sedation therapy, or kind of letting your body sweat after the massage. We have seen that sauna baths, something like that, they help a lot in vata. So these things can be taken, and then internally we can take ghee and all those things. Vata imbalance is a very wide term. So if you want to know what exactly you should do, you should tell what is the feature you are feeling because of imbalance.
I think one of the things that can also be done is sleeping on time for not having a vata imbalance.
So there is one shloka mentioned in Ayurveda which says that staying awake is going to increase your vata, sleeping in the day is going to increase your kapha. So if you want to kind of not have these two things, then sleep on time and don't sleep on time in the night, wake up on time and don't sleep throughout the day. Because Diva Swapna, we call it day sleeping, is going to aggravate your kapha, going to cause laziness. Now, that will lead to not letting you sleep at night because you slept in the day. Not sleeping at night will increase your vata. So, it's a vicious cycle. So, yeah.
I think we'll take just one last question because we've already exceeded. Is sinus curable?
To a very great extent, yes. But you always will have to take precautions for that. Sinusitis is something that sinus is open spaces around your nose and above your forehead, and the sinuses we call it, and sinusitis is the condition. So always, if you are exposed to too much cold directly, you will have a tendency, but you can cure it to a certain extent, but you'll have to take precautions even after it's cured.
Thank you so much, Narayani, for all answering all the questions and for giving so much, depth in detail knowledge on all the prakritis on Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. I think we don't have too much time today, but we'll just do Brahmari at least 3 times. Usually every time we meditate a little bit, and then we'll end it with an Om. So we'll all just
I think we can do a 10 minutes meditation, right? Small meditation we can.
yeah. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit of Brahmari and a little bit of a very short one. So we can all sit with our eyes closed, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take one more deep breath in and exhale completely. We'll make the sound 3 times. Take a breath in. Once more. Just feel the relaxation in the body. Feel the nervous system being a little more calm. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, relax the whole body totally. Every incoming breath energizes the body, and each outgoing breath relaxes the body. With every breath, keep relaxing the body a little more. Take another breath in and exhale. Gently become aware of the air entering the nostrils. The air entering the nostrils is a little cooler, and the air that is coming out is a little warmer. Just become aware of this phenomena as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Take another deep breath in and exhale completely. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Let go of all effort and relax completely. You are peace. Feel the peace and bliss showering all over you. Take another breath in and exhale completely. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Praying for peace within and peace outside. Peace in the mind, in the body, in the soul. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your body. Become aware of the surroundings. With a smile on the face, take another breath in And with a bigger smile, exhale. And taking your own time, whenever you feel complete, you may open your eyes. How was it? How is everyone feeling? It's very nice to meditate a little bit of time every day. Like we learned, great for Pitta people especially, but for all the Prakritis. So a lot of the imbalances are taken care only if we meditate. So that's why every Sunday in our webinars, we at least make sure we meditate for some time. When we have more time, we meditate a little more, but at least a little bit of time, make sure we meditate. And next Sunday, we'll be having another amazing webinar. This time, we'll be doing a webinar on mantras. What is the impact that mantras have on our body, on our system? And we'll also be learning few basic mantras that we can chant. So we have a special guest next time, and we'll see you all. So it's Diwali, so we thought, why not do something traditional? Anyways, mantras have a huge impact on our body and our system. So stay healthy, enjoy the festive season, and keep doing yoga, keep meditating. And if you have any feedback or any specific topics that you would like, we would love to do them, arrange them for you. So you can drop us a comment here or on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. So within 24 hours, we usually get back. So let us know, and thank you so much for joining us here. May you stay fit and calm.